Moving on, another speculation topic, but it's from the Mirror, and it's got something to do with Sheffield Wednesday, so I'm going to read you this title.
It's very much talked about at the moment. It's a big hot topic.
If you're on Twitter, then it's talked about. If you're anywhere else, probably less so.
Yeah.
This is from the Mirror. Sheffield Wednesday owner told Consortium is ready, waiting to buy sleeping giant. Exclusive. Fans of Sheffield Wednesday are becoming increasingly impatient with owner Deshron Chansiri, and it has been claimed a US-based consortium is waiting in the wings to launch a takeover bid. Under fire, Sheffield Wednesday owner Deshron Chansiri has been told there is a consortium ready and waiting to buy the Beleaguered Championship club if he is willing to negotiate a fair price. An increasing number of Owls fans are urging Thai tuna magnate Chansiri to sell up a decade after he purchased the club from ex-Leicester and Portsmouth owner Milan Mandaric. Initial success saw Wednesday flirt with the first return to the Premier League, blah, 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 all of that, all the backstory of Wednesday. Let's get to some of the meat of the article. Now fans are mobilising behind the scenes to try and force change at Hillsborough. Owl supporter Simon Quick, a stock market trader with a background in owning businesses, is fronting a social media campaign with the tagline #Enough is enough. Quote, I give him, Chansiri, 3 options, Quick told the Mirror. That's from distance. Yeah. Show us the plan to take the club forward. 2, accept, implement and fund our plan to take the club forward. Or 3, stand aside for a new owner who has the strategy, leadership and capital to take the club forward. Option 1, I don't think is ever going to happen. Option 2, I also don't think is ever going to happen. That being said, it is a genuine offer. If he wants to work with us and he needs ideas to take the club forward because he wants to change things around, we would love to be able to come in and help. However, over his decade in charge, so many others have tried, from individual fans right up to a very experienced and highly respected football person who prepared a full dossier after a root and branch investigation into the running of the club, and he still refused to listen and accept his plan. So if he won't listen to someone like that, I can't imagine he'll listen to me. Quick is assembling a team of fan groups, accountants, barristers, analysts, agents, and other senior figures in football and finance in a bid to help facilitate change at Wednesday. And he claims a US-based consortium with the resources at their disposal to make the club a force again within the English game is ready and waiting to take over the club if Chansiri is ready to talk. Quote, if he would come to the table, I believe a deal could be concluded very quickly, Quick claimed. The consortium I have been speaking with will be able to put in place everything that we as fans would like to see in place. All the things I'm discussing with other fans are already part of the consortium's package. They are serious players who want to do a serious job. They are involved in business, which would work very well with Sheffield Wednesday being part of their portfolio. I'm hoping that we might hear more from them soon, but I don't have any control over what they say or what they don't say. We have 8 matches of this season to play, and we're still in the outside chance for playoffs. They don't want anything to do They don't want to do anything that might interfere with that focus. There have also been some concerns that there is a lot of anger and frustration amongst fans and even a bit of infighting. They don't want to get caught up in that. However, in the last few weeks, I sense the tide has turned. Fans are broadly in agreement that enough is enough and there has been a change. It feels that anyone is offering a solution right now would be welcome with open arms. Maybe they will come forward soon. I've certainly asked them to. Right. This has been building for a long time. Yeah. There's talks of ego of Chansiri in this article. There's talks of everything. It's not off the table we end up in a Reading scenario, he also says later on, but we're relying on Chansiri to do the right thing. So we need something about it, and we need to do something about it now. There's not enough information here, Jack.
Yeah. I can understand. I think Simon is a very credible
where it's
source,
coming from.
Given his profession as a stockbroker, it's very likely he does have these contacts to all these different business people and all the rest of it. So a lot of people have sort of said, oh, who is he then? What are his credentials? That's his credential. As a stockbroker, you know a lot of people. You know how it all works. You know all these things. So I do think it's a very credible, actual source of the article,
He could, to be honest, if he's got that
really
background, you could see someone like that getting involved with the consortium. However, I don't have enough information on the consortium. Yeah. All I'm hearing is US consortium. Is this like the Adam Shaw sort of consortium where there was never really anything of meat to it? Is it the same one? We don't know. Is it a case of, the problem I've got is when people were scratching for consortiums, etc., there was talks of the old Reading owner coming in, and it was almost like anybody but Chansiri, and that's where I worried we're going to go down here. So for me, some more information on this consortium would be interesting.
Yeah. If there is that consortium, I think they need to be a bit more forthcoming with actually who they are. And also, if you think back to when Birmingham City were taken over, the process of that was very similar to what's happening with this. Like, there was a business savvy Birmingham fan that I think he was either business minded or he's currently employed by the club. Basically, he's actually a sort of board position at Birmingham now. But he was the one who actively went out and found the Nighthead group in America and then convinced them, come and buy Birmingham City. And it seems like it's a very similar story here. But I feel like we need to know a bit more about who these people are rather than just, there is a consortium. Okay. But it feels like a bit of a pipe dream right now. Like,
is this the bloke that's got that 1867 account on Twitter, or am I getting too...
Simon, I think Simon is one of the people that runs that 1867 news.
No, not the group. Is he the 1867 news or something or whatever?
Simon is one of those people that runs that account. Yeah,
right. Because that's giving me more context. Because obviously I see a lot of those tweets.
Yeah,
in my recommended tab. I actually think it's a good way of doing it. Right. If we're going to find the consortium, bring the consortium in. I haven't heard enough that this consortium can actually back up anything they say or meet any valuation of Sheffield Wednesday. Now, if it's a case of, we know Chansiri's not going to go in for a sub 150 million offer. Oh, yeah. So is it above that? Because I do think, even though it's great that we're rallying for this, if we want action, he said it, there's fans mobilizing for it. If we're not being able to bring people to the table that can actually put in offers that are going to meet Chansiri's valuation, it is going to be a case of cat and mouse, bring down Chansiri's valuation, and it's just going to be the battle there of, it's Chansiri's fault, he won't drop his valuation, and we're going to end up in that cycle.
Yeah.
And that's what concerns me, if that's what this is going to be about. However, I think it is worth a punt. I will say, we need to pick our battles in this situation, because if it is the same account, I believe he had a pop at the esports team and said something sarcastic on that front, you know what I mean, for us building on the club. We've got to have a consistent sort of...
Yeah.
I think it's because I think it's good that the club are trying to look for other revenue sources sort of thing. But I think we need to we need to see more from this consortium. I do worry when I hear a US-based consortium, because they can either be good or they can be vanity projects that don't have any grasp of football.
Yeah. They can be a Todd Bowley, for example, or, yeah. I would say that because of how it is right now, we need to be more they need to be more forthcoming with actually who they are, what's involved in the actual consortium itself, because I'd say probably the 8 out of the last 10 years under Chansiri, Wednesday fans collectively have had nothing more than all words and no substance. We're promised the world and promised the Premier League and promised this, that and the other, and then nothing's really been delivered upon that, other than those first 2 years of Chansiri owning us, when he kind of went S-word or bust. With let's spend loads of money and try and race to the Premier League as fast as we possibly can and gamble it. And after that, it's been just all words and no substance. So for us to actually sort of go, yes, this is a valid thing, this is great, this is amazing, please let it happen, we actually need this consortium to show that they're not just all words and no substance. Be a bit more forthcoming. Maybe not fully say, yes, we've bid, but say publicly, we are interested, or whatever.
Chansiri's big on proof of funds, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Proof of funds, proof that you can deliver it. So maybe not put it out there to the public, to the general public. Just say we're trying our best to buy Sheffield Wednesday or to talk to Chansiri, but not do it through Simon. Do it through a representative of the consortium itself, and just sort of say this is who we are, like Sheffield United's new owners did. They came out and said we want to buy Sheffield United. And then,
there's a time to do this, Jack.
You know,
they've said in the art if it's got validity and and this consortium, if the truth is they don't want to derail the season when there's still a chance of playoffs, etc.
It wouldn't, I don't think, but
there's about no, it would. It would. There'd be too much around it, so I get that. I think it's a stretch there, but what I would say, in about a month's time, the season's going to be over.
Yeah.
Step up then.
Yep.
And make it public.
Yes.
And then you force Chansiri into showing his... He might be very petty with it, or he might actually have something to defend, and then the fans... Do you know what? If you actually have someone with proof of funds that's got a very valid offer and it's around the valuations we've heard previously from Chansiri, so say they've got 100 million plus whatever, plus stadium whatever, and they show it, and then Chansiri says no to that, and we've got all of that on record, and then there's a fan forum situation.
Yeah.
More and more fans are going to turn against him because there is people there. And I'd like a mission plan from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Consortium as well.
Mission statement, all that.
And I'm not expecting it all now. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the season, if you're prepared to launch your bid, that's what you do. You do your pitch, you do your proposal, you bring everything. Then this is what we want to do with Sheffield Wednesday. Here's the proof of funds. And you make it, you can make that public. You don't need to make the proof of funds public. You need sort of like
the plan of what you want to do.
But saying who the investors are gives an idea of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can look into valuations and such like that. But what you can do from that is actually have a plan for the club. A 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, where a consortium coming in that's got this in mind for the club. And you'll get more fans on board that way. And I think that's the way to do it if it's going to happen. But yeah.
And also to play devil's advocate on it a little bit, to sort of not to defend Chansiri, or because it doesn't need defending, but it's like to understand Chansiri's perspective on all of this as well. He's had to deal with people like Eric Alonso in the past that have said, yeah, I want to buy Wednesday. Yeah, great, amazing. And he's just been a total con man. And so there's a bit of that situation thrown into the mix. He's been burned with people like that coming along before and just been total, like,
I think the sticking point salesman. Is, and I'd be interested to know what the guy who's obviously running this, who's contacted this consortium seeing is, I think Chansiri is going to want to retain a stake. And I wonder what that consortium and his situation, given they are very anti, he seems quite anti-Chansiri, would be on that. And I actually think that's possibly one of the only ways you get this consortium to the table.
See, I think
we might have to go that route.
I don't think he'd want to retain a stake in the club for himself. I think he'd want to retain it in the name of Fat.
This is what I'm saying. He wants to retain something to give with to his stake son, in the club for his family.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see how that one develops.